Howdy, and welcome to the Feed Bandit podcast, where we talk all things hunting and introduce you to the most innovative hunting gear and services. Here are your hosts, Jimmy Byrne and Richard Kinchlow. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Feed Bandit podcast. Jimmy here, along with my intrepid colleague, the old Corn Bandit.
Hi!
What's with the hi?
I don't know. I'm excited. I'm looking out at nature as opposed to the back end of my house. So it's good.
We are down at Rancho Bandido as we're recording this here with a bunch of our hunting buddies, and we got a kind of a special one today, I would say. Right now, Corn Bandit is scolding his dog silently. But yeah, we got a couple of special guests, I guess you could say. Two youngins who have recently shot their first deer. I guess, when were you last year? 2 years ago.
Yeah, like 2 years ago.
All right, well, I guess that's relatively recent.
3 years ago.
And then the other one was last year, but we wanted to have them on to tell their story, right?
Yep.
That's the long and short of it, I guess. We got their fathers sitting here as well, dutifully being silent. But, you guys can chime in whenever,
We're well behaved.
Who wants to start? Maybe Logan, you want to start since yours was older, and walk us through what happened. Start at the beginning. When was your first memory?
So I had to get up at like 5 a.m, and it was really, really early. And then we went to go to the Jeep, and we went kind of by the front of the ranch, and I shot it with my 243, and
was it
it was a doe, not a buck, and
were there a lot of other deer there, or was it by itself?
There were like a few, maybe 2-3 deer.
Yeah. All right. Were you nervous?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I was nervous.
Yeah. Have what they call buck fever?
Actually,
doe fever?
I don't think he really did have that. I got to witness it as well, which was really cool. But one of the things that we did to really help with his situation is we picked a blind and a feeder that we knew that the deer were at or would frequently visit. But what we did was the night before we got a bag of corn, and we actually went in there and made a trail from the feeder up to the blind to about 50 yards or something of that nature. And obviously it was in hopes of trying to get something just a little bit closer, but not too close. I've had 3 deer that I shot at under 30 yards and shot right over them, because you don't attribute the bullet or the drop of the bullet after you fire it. But with Logan's first deer, it actually worked. We had a doe come out from the side and probably got her right at 50 yards. I mean, it was a perfect scenario. So
Awesome.
It's a good time.
So you said you're a little nervous. Like, how'd you feel after you shot?
I felt really happy after I knew that I got it, because that was my first deer.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Just a sense of joy and jubilation, I guess, or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Yeah.
Now, how many deer, Logan, since then have you shot?
I have shot one other deer, 2 other deer.
Okay.
Other deer.
All right. Yeah. Very cool.
We're going to add one more to that list this afternoon, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
As his dad is saying, well, maybe more than one. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so we'll talk to Dad. Dad, how was this is his father, Travis, and Trav, what was your? Obviously, you were excited. I was there, but what was your reaction to him dropping his first deer?
It's undescribable. You can't. I didn't have the words. I don't have the words. I still don't have the words. Just getting the kids out in the woods is important and a lot of fun, but that was a big day. It was a big day. He was 7, so that's young.
Yeah.
So I remember mine first. I remember the conversation I had with my dad, and it just transitioned into our life from my dad and me and to Logan and I. So it was a big day.
And what was really cool for me is that I got to be there too. I mean, making the first deer is pretty cool, and of course, there's no way to really time it and predict when that's going to happen. But Logan started out, hopefully, what is a growing trend here on Rancho Bandido of lots of kids. We've got their pictures with their animals, and it's great because this sport, this lifestyle, depends on our future generation, and the more that we can get them pumped up about, the better it is. So it is exciting. Now, we also have another young hunter with us who happened to be the first female to shoot a deer, and that would be Lacey. Now, Lacey, how old were you when you shot your deer?
I think I was 8 or 9.
Okay.
It was last year, so I was probably 8.
Perfect. Okay. Very cool. Now tell us about the experience.
So from the point when I shot him, I had my eye. Me and my dad had our eye on him the whole time. Out of the 4 deer that were there, he was one of them, and then there was like 2 does and one other good buck, but it wasn't as good as this buck Cole. So
Awesome. How old was he? How big was he?
he was 187 pounds, and he was a 7-year-old buck.
Wow. That's a good one. So talk about how you felt, like when you saw him, and from the point of like when your dad said, take that one. Were you nervous?
From the point when I saw him, I wasn't very happy that I had to shoot him because I like bucks that have both antlers and not just one. And others.
Oh, she's particular.
Yeah.
I'm pretty particular. But there was another one. I wanted to shoot that one.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, this one it provided us tons of deer steaks and meat. So I'm glad I shot this one, and I have the skull of it too, and it's pretty cool to.
It is.
Well, and it's very unique, relative to like a normal 8-point or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's something special to have, I think, as your first one.
I agree.
Hey, hold on 1 second. Hey, folks, do you want to level up your hunting game and gear? If so, join the hunt to get killer hunting tips and tricks that'll help you out in the field. Text the word BANDIT to 345-345 right now. And when you do, you'll even get access to some exclusive deals on the hunting gear and services we discuss right here on this podcast. Again, text the word BANDIT to 345-345 right now and join the hunt.
Well, and looking at this guy, he was 7.5 years old, and wait till you see the picture of him. Even if he was a complete 8-point, as far as management is concerned, he's a great deer to take because he's not very tall. He doesn't have a lot of mass, and he's not very wide. So that's the kind of deer at the right age and with a genetic trait that you want to try to take out of the herd. And obviously having a kid do that was a real win-win. So
how did you feel when you shot him? And
when I shot him, I felt really nervous because he was limping off.
Oh.
He even jumped over a fence. He even jumped over the fence of where the deer blind was.
Mm-hmm.
So I got pretty nervous, but then my dad helped me out. He shot him one more time, and he was like down for good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I seem to recall the first shot was good. It was perfect.
Right.
It was.
When we got him out of the mule, out of our ATV, his shoulder blade was broken.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing that stuck out in my mind was she shot it with. What did you shoot it with, Lacey? Do you remember what you shot it with? What caliber it was?
I shot it with the 243.
Yep. She actually shot it with Logan's 243. Because we'd gone hunting several times with a 223 rifle AR, and I thought that'd be good because it just had a red dot sight, but she didn't like it. She liked the scope, but she shot it right in the shoulder. But it was just an older, mature buck. You could easily see as soon as he walked in. I mean, we didn't even see him sitting in there for a while, and I think y'all also said y'all hadn't seen him at the feeder before, right?
Never had we had seen that deer.
So when he came in, there was no doubt that he was a mature buck, and he definitely needed to be taken from the herd. He had reached his prime and was on the downside of his prime just by his body and by his. You could tell by his antlers. But I mean, a 7-year-old buck weighing 187. That's a pretty good size for down here. That was he stood out like a sore thumb. You know.
Now, how did you feel when she took her first? That being a dad and.
Oh, I was excited. I was, the good thing is that we'd gone out during the summer and we'd practiced here with y'all and helping get her used to shooting a rifle. She'd shot a 22 and shot coons and everything else, so she had some little varmints to practice on. But when we started working on her with an actual high-powered rifle, there's a big difference between a 22 going up to a 223 and then definitely going to a 243. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of worried about that as far as if she'd be intimidated by the kick. But I think with enough practice, she got confident in her shooting ability, and she was the biggest thing I was proud of is her ability to focus on what she needed to do: trigger control, sight picture, focusing on your crosshairs, and then slowly pulling the trigger. And if you focus on that enough, then you don't worry about the bang and what's going to happen after it. Your hands and your eyes are too focused on that. And so I think that's what she did. And that was just watching her. It didn't look like she jerked or anything. Mm-hmm. And I watched it in my binoculars, from the background, and I saw it hit, and I thought it was a good hit. And that's what made me surprised when he was just a big boy and just jumped over the fence. But it was late in the afternoon too. He was smart. He came in late. We still had plenty of shooting light, but I also didn't want to get too late to have that kind of bad experience where we're trying to track a down deer. So that's why I just put one in there. But come to find out, he was already. It was a good shot in the heart and lung. He was just so big.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all say how old y'all were on here?
Yeah, Logan did.
Okay. How old were you when you shot that?
Yeah, I already told
Did you
them.
say?
I was 8 years old, probably.
Okay, yeah, 7 and 8.
Yeah, it was December 29th of 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
7 and 8. I mean, that's.
Yes.
Matt, that was Matt. That's Lacey's father, and I think he brings up a really good point. And Logan did the same thing. Is that probably one of the reasons why kids miss, and adults, especially people that are inexperienced with shooting rifles, is because they immediately go from maybe a 22 or even nothing to a major caliber deer rifle, and they go 30-06 or 270 or something of that nature. And the first thing the kids ask, does it kick? Does it kick? Does it hurt? And so the problem is, kids being kids, or adults being adults, they're going to worry about that. So finding a caliber that'll take down a deer ethically, in hogs or whatever your target species is, and getting them accustomed to that is absolutely essential. And Matt also hit on something that I think is really important for everybody. And every one of us in this entire house is really guilty of this, present company included. Matt said that he got Lacey on the gun, during the spring and summer. That's huge, especially for a new hunter. You want this to be as routine as riding a bike. And people like me have been doing this my whole life. It's the same thing. Not only do you need to get out there and practice shooting, but you just want to make sure your gun is on. You owe it to that animal to make sure that you are as accurate so you can put that thing down as humanely as possible. So practice is huge, especially with kids. Done.
Well, not yet. You're talking about your process now. You're in the process of getting your oldest daughter.
Yes, I am in the process of changing my legal name. I'm going to become anyway. Yeah. So right. So my oldest daughter, Abby, we are going to kind of get her up to speed on trying to shoot some big game. So we have been working with her. Thank you for mentioning that on pigs, so hogs. So I've got her on a Ruger 204. Okay, so it's a little bit less than the 22 or at 223, but it's actually been a lot faster. It's a good hog round. It's a scoped rifle, and she's pretty good. So we've been shooting 5 or 6 times now. I'm going to continue doing it, and she enjoys it. And after she got over the recoil, it's been great. So by the time this airs, actually, she could have her first big game animal and enjoy, or not really a game animal, but big nonetheless. And she could join the ranks of a very prestigious crowd. So We will
Is she
see what
going with
happens.
you? Is she going with you
Yeah,
tonight?
tonight, yeah.
I was there when Abby shot her rounds at the
Yeah.
at the range, and she was really accurate.
She's good. She doesn't get that from me because I might be one of the worst shots ever, unless when it comes to a shotgun.
Well, and the worst buck fever ever.
Awful. Yes. Now I do have the worst buck fever ever. I mean, I shake at targets.
And then my favorite thing is seeing other kids' faces when they are so accurate.
Yeah.
Like after she shot, she was so nervous.
Absolutely.
And we went to go see it, and I saw that like medium-sized face go up to like a full smile.
Well, no, she's right. It's a confidence thing. I mean, you know, people think, oh, it's just right there in front of you. Yeah, it's 100 yards, but no, you're exactly right. You know, to be able to line it up and you know, squeeze that, because I mean, even the slightest little jerk can put you off a couple of inches. So no, you're exactly right. It's a good confidence building. You know, they should teach rifle shooting in school, but they won't for obvious reasons that we probably can't get into right now. But yeah, so. But
I think the coverage on insurance would probably be pretty high. I think on that.
Oh, whatever. We'll have Tyson build them a gun range.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on one quick moment. Hey folks, have you ever wished that there was an easier way to find the hunting feeds, supplies, and services you need, when and where you need them? If so, check out our hunter search at feedbandit.com, where you can see what hunting suppliers are in your area or are on the way to your land. Don't waste any more precious time searching Google or calling around for feed, blinds, feeders, or even outfitters. Just use our targeted search for hunters, the Feed Bandit Hunter Search, over at feedbandit.com. We'll find your feed.
You know, I just thought of a good question since we have, what, a 10-year-old and a 9-year-old here now? Mm-hmm. So for all the parents out there, what was y'all's, and Logan, you start off first, but what was your main, when we were, you know, your dad was getting you ready to go hunting, and Lacey, when I was getting you ready to go hunting, what was the main fear that y'all had about the whole entire thing? What was the biggest thing? Was it killing an animal, or was it the shooting of the gun? Was it the bang, the sound the gun would do? Would it hurt you? What was your main fear or apprehension? Meaning, what were you kind of scared of about the whole experience?
Well, there were two things really that were equal in fear. So the kickback, because I was worried I'd blow up my shoulder, and
Ruin your pitching career early.
and then missing because
You
or like wounding it.
You feel like you disappoint people.
Yeah, or like hurt an animal and like not take it out easily and quickly and humanely.
There you go.
What about you, Lacey?
I have like 5 equal things. I'll tell you 2. So I have, one of my main fears is the sound. I feel like I've heard when my dad's told me stories all the time when we're getting ready for hunting, he's like, when we're deering even in the blind, he's like, if we even hear gunshot before we even get our gun out, he's like, okay, we're going to put our earphones on right now, because he said that people have literally messed up an eardrum from not putting the headphones on.
My mom is legally deaf. My mom grew up shooting shotguns, and obviously these kids know my mother very well. She grew up shooting shotguns as a kid, and now she is legally deaf. So it's ear protection's a big thing. Go on to feedbandit.com for more information on ear protection.
And then my second thing would probably, I have one other thing. So I am like, when I hold a gun, I am tense. Like, I tense up and I'm like a statue when I hold the gun. Because I mean, if you don't position it right, it might do something.
That's right.
And then if it's loaded and you don't realize it and you try aiming at something, then that's not gonna happen good.
Sure.
But what I'm pointing at is that probably when you're using the gun, it's just that feel of fear, because you know that it's a dangerous weapon that can kill anything that you point it at. If you accidentally pull the trigger, it'll kill that. And then a false alarm would cause big.
That's right. Yeah. So you gotta be smart. You got to be smart. You got to teach good gun safety. And so here we are listening to these kids. They've only been doing this for a couple of years, but you can obviously tell that their fathers and their fathers' friends and their mothers and grandparents and dogs and hamsters and everything that they have relations with has really reinforced the need for good gun safety. So that's good to hear. That's part of the experience for sure.
I hope to join this conversation in 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years, with when Jeb, my son, gets to that age. Heck, maybe one of y'all can guide him.
Yeah,
then.
that would be cool. I would love guiding
maybe.
a little.
We would be really lazy then.
Wait,
That's
let me
right.
calculate
Well,
this.
at the very least, you guys can clean the deer.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
That's going to be
Wait,
fun.
wait,
That's
wait.
step 2
Let me-
after shooting your first deer.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let me calculate this. A 4th grade female girl cleaning a yucky gutted deer.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
That is the formula.
You're
You
right.
kidding me?
Now you put it that way, I think we've waited too long.
I know.
all the
Tonight's the night.
Yeah, you're gonna be the Joan of Arc of deer cleaning.
Fourth grade. That didn't
You're
go
gonna,
that long.
you're gonna forge your own path. Oh, that's gonna be
You
great.
should have your own processing company by now.
Like,
I
yeah.
bet they have pink gloves you can use.
They do.
To all the probably female young kids out there, let your dads clean the deer for you. way easier.
Well,
I mean, you can watch him and then make fun of him and then
yeah.
have a good laugh out of it. I mean, it's perfect.
That's funny.
Yeah, well, she's right.
The wisdom of young kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you guys got anything else to say?
Not really.
Appreciate y'all telling the story here. It'll be fun, and now this will be saved for posterity, so you'll be able to listen to it. I don't know, 20 years, 15 years from now, whenever it is that you have kids. I don't know.
Whoa.
Do the math real quick here in my head.
Wow, that's
Okay, that would be,
40?
yeah.
40 years.
I would be
Yeah,
35 in
And
15
by
years.
immaculate
I've got a dog.
conception.
Well, my wife
Don't forget
had
that.
Jeb at 35, I think.
My mom had me at
No, she's
30.
35 now. She had him at 33.
My mom had me at 30 actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go.
And then she had Savannah at 33. So
Had to have you both at 33.
I'd hate that. I wouldn't have a younger sister.
No,
to
she said
blame
30 and
everything
then
on.
33.
Oh,
I don't,
they
think
said
that's,
30.
I don't think that's possible.
I know. That's
Your
what I
math,
said.
very, very bad.
Oh dear.
No, that may either wink leak the.
Teach you to run over your fingers with lawnmower.
Learn your multiplication like I'm learning my long division right now in school.
It's been a while. It's
Yeah,
been
that's anyway. We're gonna talk about long division. Long division and cursive, I have a real problem with, and libraries, but we'll get into that later.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining us. Dads, you got anything to add to this one?
Keep it fun.
Keep it fun. Don't get them stressed out. Let them realize that everybody makes mistakes. You'll learn from your mistakes, but those big mistakes we want to keep from happening. Gun safety is number one.
Oh yeah.
Getting your kids out in the field, letting them enjoy the outdoors and the animals, and seeing there's something more than just an iPod or an iPhone, and playing on games.
Yeah, that's right. Like, when you got the opportunity to go hunt at the place, you don't want to slay your sleeping in just so you can wake up and play games that you can do in Dallas. Get them out there in the field.
You're not alluding to something.
No, I'm not.
Don't worry, we'll get you out of here.
Here's the two kids that we spoke with. Both.
Don't worry, Richard will be out there this afternoon.
Oh yeah, I know, and I love playing games.
I mean,
too.
Trav, I just annoyed you enough to let him stay. I
We
mean,
did.
Guess you're definitely be cleaning
it's
tonight.
really easy. All you have to do is prove your
Oh,
point.
good shot.
Use text.
Yes.
All you have to do is prove your point. Use text evidence. Use main ID and details.
Wow.
Oh, you
Then
sound,
annoy you.
All right. Well, with that,
Yeah, wow.
Nope.
on that note, hope you guys enjoyed this one and do what the dad said and have a good one. Hey folks, Jibby jumping right back in here real quick. I just wanted to give you guys a update on what happened after this podcast. So we recorded it on a Saturday morning down at Rancho Bandido, and later that evening we all went out to do some deer hunting, and lo and behold, both Lacey and Logan shot some deer that evening. Lacey got a good management doe, and Logan shot a great older management buck. So congratulations to you both, Lacey and Logan, for that. That's really awesome. So everyone out there, have a good one and support your local feed store. Thanks for listening to the Feed Bandit podcast. Just a reminder to text the word bandit to 345-345.
And when you do, you'll join our email list where we'll send killer deals on innovative hunting products and services, along with entertaining tips and tricks straight to your inbox. You don't want to miss out, so again, text the word BANDIT to 345-345, and we look forward to seeing you on the hunt. Until next time, have a good one, and remember to support your local feed store.